Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome back. We are going to be talking about Pride. June is Pride Month, the celebration of LGBT people in Trinidad and Tobago. And I am being joined by Xoe Sazzle, who's the co-chair of PrideTT, and Sharon Mottley, who's a trustee of PrideTT. Good morning, ladies. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having me. How did I
name, Xoe?
Sazzle. You got it right. Sorry.
I was trying to practice. So we wanted to talk about the theme for Pride 2021, powHER. Talk to me about that. What are we focusing on? What does powHER mean?
Well, the theme for Pride 2021, powHER, is really an emphasis and a return to an emphasis on our women, taking into consideration both the national scope of what's been happening in the country from earlier this year, even last year, and also acknowledging that Pride began as a protest, and that began with our women and femmes, which are femme identified people. So we wanted to take the opportunity this year to return to an honoring and a centering and a focusing of our women in Pride. That's what we call the powHER.
I love it. Now, Pride is always, it's very important that you said that Pride began as a process, but I always associate it with celebration. How have you all always been able to meld the two, the fight and the celebration?
And I think for that, good morning, everybody, again, when we talk about the struggle around LGBTQI plus rights, historically, while we were in an invisible population, it was important that we celebrated within our community all of who we are, and because we are a very diverse group. So for many decades, a lot of our celebration focused in a private community, celebrating our creativity, talking about issues that faced us. But critical to the protest movement had to do with HIV and AIDS and how it decimated our community. And so the central focus of PrideTT throughout the years was around Pride Memorial, where we pay tribute to those that we lost to HIV and AIDS. And then as the years progressed, those that we lost to homophobia, due to suicide and violence. And so part of the protest is our celebration of our resilience, that we made it through and we continue to push through despite all the barriers that we face.
Yes, because of course, while this year the powHER celebrations wants us to focus on what has happened to women like Andrea Barrett and Ashanti Riley, you're also reminding us that we need to be focusing on what has happened to Mark Anthony Singh recently, Sasha Fierce, who was a trans woman activist who was killed in Mandela Park a few years ago, and of course reminding that we still have people, Raymond Chukong, who is the famed playwright, and Gregory Singh, who was in the theatre industry but behind the scenes, and those cases and many of the others that we have not been naming still are waiting for justice. What are some of the stuff that you all have planned for your powHER celebrations this year to remind us that these are the issues that we also need to be focused on while we celebrate the fact that we're actually having Pride celebrations in Trinidad and Tobago, and it has become an annual event?
Yeah, definitely. I think exactly as you mentioned, the loss of our community members, more specifically to violence, has been such a large focus of ours, especially as you mentioned with Anthony Singh, Venus Maria Raj earlier this year. And there still has been no justice, So actually we kick off our Pride celebrations. Usually we would have a demonstration in front of Parliament. But in keeping with COVID-19 regulations, even though we were still trying to plan something covert to get a COVID takeover, we understand the reality. And so we're beginning with online, we've been collecting information and we are sending out our findings to the members of Parliament. And so we're emailing the parliamentarians our findings for over 200 LGBT persons in Trinidad and Tobago. A list of, what we have found to be our most prominent community points that we want to address and we want to bring to them since we can't gather in front of the Parliament.
And then on Saturday, we have actually Zoe and others will be doing a tree planting to commemorate Sasha Fierce and others, and we will have a virtual flag raising. So throughout the month, we have 30 plus events planned every day of Pride Month, which starts on June 25th. We'll have events every single night, and our events will, in addition to showcasing our creatives, our artists, our filmmakers, etc., we will be having panel discussions where we will address issues such as gender-based violence within the community, strengthening our women's movement. We will also have an entire career health fair day on July 3rd from morning till afternoon, where we look at all the health issues that impact our community: NCDs, cancer, suicide, HIV and AIDS. And so there is something for everybody, young, old, our allies are partnering with us. So there is so much we have planned over the next month.
Fantastic. And where can we go to get all the information about Pride 2021 powHER celebrations?
You can go to PrideTT.com. On our website, we have everything laid out. Also, all of our social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're on there at PrideTT. If you have any questions, you can email us, info@PrideTT. And as Sharon mentioned, we really have, and also just so you know, all of our events this year are online, in keeping, once again, with the COVID-19 regulations. But we have something every single day from June 25th to July 25th, and I can guarantee you there's something in there for you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Xoe Sazzle and Sharon Mottley, for joining us to talk about Pride 2021 celebrations. I'm sure a lot of people will be looking out for it and storming your social media accounts for more information about events and schedules. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. We look forward to everybody participating. Have a wonderful day and be safe.
Yes, be safe. Thank you so much for joining us.